Hello all, welcome to the VoIP Traffic Analysis course on Pentester Academy. Now in the last video we looked at SIP and RTP traffic in great detail, and we saw that we could actually see the waveform of the audio call within Wireshark. But of course what we encountered was it was painful to play it within Wireshark. And this is where in this video we look at different techniques by which we can extract the audio from the RTP file. So let's get started. Now an important word of caution is the technique shown in this video will work perfectly for SIP and RTP, but some of them actually will not work for encrypted traffic. Now when we'll get to encrypted traffic, I'll talk about techniques of extracting the audio from those files. So that is something to keep in mind at this point. So we will look at three different techniques. One is, of course, using Wireshark. Then we have a tool called PCAP to Wave, which is actually created by the Explico guys. I don't know if you've used the tool Explico. So you can install and run this as a service on a web page locally. And the third is using random GitHub scripts. So let's actually jump right in. I'm inside my VM. Now, if you just search for PCAP to Wave, you'd actually end up seeing that there is a site called pcap2wave.explico.org. So here it is, and it says it converts RTP streams to WAV files. So you can click on Create New Session, and then you can click Add Files. And we can go to Home, we can go to VoIP Class, Sample Calls, SIP RTP. And let's upload normal call two parties. So I'm going to do an open. So it is getting uploaded and just should take a couple of seconds. And there you go. You have all the 4 streams automatically extracted. Now the interesting part is you can install PCAP to Wave locally as running as a web service, running as a web application. Sorry, web service is something different. And you could go ahead and do this as well, or you can use their online web page if confidentiality of the call is not in question, right? Which is you're just testing stuff. So now let me actually download these. So why don't we actually open this up? See if we can listen to any audio. And again, we may have to wait if you remember that long waveform which was there, and only in the very end sometimes you might hear.
This is caller 2. Welcome to Pentester Academy.
There you go. And similarly, you can actually download the other streams as well. Here is an exercise. The naming convention will actually tell you from which entity the stream actually originated. Okay, so this is the easiest way, right? Just point and click. Now, the second is, there are a lot of GitHub scripts available which actually do this using a utility called socks. Now, when you search for PCAP to Wave, the very second link is basically a gist from GitHub. So we're going to be using this. This is from Avimar PCAP to Wave. Click on raw. Let's actually copy the script link. And let's go inside the VoIP class directory. Sample calls SIP RTP. I want to create a new directory here called workspace, just so that we can do stuff locally. Don't want to change in the root directory. I'm going to copy the normal call two parties into this directory, and then I'm going to download that GitHub script. Okay, downloaded. So I'm going to make it executable. Then let's actually run it. See what happens. So this basically tells us this is a simple utility to make it easier to extract audio. There is a dependency for T-Shark and socks. We've already installed T-Shark, so let's install socks. So I'm going to do a sudo apt update. Come on. You're on video, you're on live cam. Work faster. Okay, and then we're going to do a sudo apt install socks. So in my case, I just installed it already just to test the lab exercise. But once you do this, then you'll have the utility which is required for the script to work. There we go. And you can actually see SOX actually stands for Sound Exchange Swiss Army Knife of Audio Manipulation. You know, you can read the bash script if you want and figure out how they're actually using SOX to do all of this, and T-Shark. So what they pretty much do is actually use T-Shark to extract the raw data. So if you notice right here, if you looked at my T-Shark course, you'll understand most of these options. So basically a single pass filter for RTP, and the following fields are being extracted. And you know, there's a bunch of other stuff happening in here. And once all of that data from the RTP packet is extracted, then I think they end up running SOX with certain arguments to be able to extract the audio, right? If you're interested, it's worth looking at it, or else you could just run the script. Right, we can be a skiddy as far as audio extraction is concerned. So to run this, we basically have pcap to wave filename.pcap target file name. There are some options as well. Looks like, you know, there are different codecs are supported, which is good. So I'm going to give this normal call two parties. Let's actually say the external file prefix will be call. Let's run this. Now, if you notice, it has identified all the 4 streams, just like we discussed in the last video, and it's extracting the payload from each of these streams separately. Do you see that? And then it's probably going to be using SOX to write out the files. So it already tells you the target files are going to be PCMU as well as WAV format. So now if I do an ls, I can actually see the WAV and PCMU format files. I'm going to go ahead and do the double click approach. So zip RTP, workspace, and then you can click on any one of these WAV files. Now again, let me remind you that, you know, all of this will work perfectly for SIP and RTP, but when you have RTP encrypted, this will not work, and we'll be looking at other tools by which it will be possible. But just so that you know, hopefully you could hear that part.
Welcome to Pentester Academy.
There we go. Right. Now the last technique we look at is using Wireshark. So I'm going to launch Wireshark and give it the file. And I'm going to telephony. Let's actually go to RTP streams. I'm going to click on any one of the streams. Click analyze. So this opens up with the packet numbers, etc. Now we've done play streams before, but notice there is a save option here. So you can click on save, and you can say click save as either unsynchronized forward stream audio or file synchronized. So let's actually save this as So saved RTP audio.au file, Sun audio file. Let's store this and let's actually go back to the same directory. Here is the file, saved RTP audio.au. Let's run it.
This is caller 2. Welcome to Pentester Academy.
And there you go, right? And you can go ahead and extract each of these streams separately. Now in a later video, I'll actually show you how to use more powerful tools like Audacity to go ahead and actually combine all of these streams and look at all these waveforms rather than having to just wait and see where it plays. So we look at that when we see, I think, the conference call video, the conference call demo. Okay. So this is really all I had in mind for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please recommend us to your friends and colleagues. Thank you.